Hello, gnomes and nomads. Welcome back to Gnomoria and to spider slaughter. Though we're not there yet, as you may have come to expect, seeing me at the title screen, should you cast your ocular viewing devices down to the bottom right, you will see that we are on a new version. Version 0.8.29.1. That's right, this version doesn't add many new features, though it does add one extremely important one. But it does fix quite a few things. I'm not going to go into the details on the fixes. Suffice to say that a few crash bugs have been ironed out and some problem with Gnome AI has been resolved. But let's go ahead and jump into Spider Slaughter, where I will discuss the new addition. Once it loads. There we go. Look at our fantastically awesome fort. Safely nestled inside dirt walls. We really need to fix that soon. I get all these questions from people. Are these dirt walls? Are you going to turn them into stone? Yes, I am going to turn them into stone. That was always the plan. Unfortunately, plans being what they are, they do sometimes bend a little around the edges. But we will be turning this into a proper fort with stone walls eventually. But to quickly touch on the new change, let's go to build and workshops. Now, where are you? You are in here somewhere. Make yourself known to me. Oh, maybe it's not here. Maybe it's this. Can you do something? No, it's not you. Can you do it? Well, this is a little bit of a problem. Let's have a look. In the metal one. Ah, there we are. Smelter. It's probably just not been added to this menu yet. Smelter. Right. The smelter. Fans of Dwarf Fortress may have noticed there was a problem that we had here, in that we had all these metal things that we didn't really want, that were in fact causing our kingdom worth to balloon enormously, which in turn was causing terrible foes to appear who could smite our innocent gnomes. But what we've got here is an ability to take any metal object and turn it back into bars. If there are any non-metal parts, like for example a breastplate may have leather straps or whatever, they're lost. But you'll get some bars back. I don't know if the bars are going to be all of the bars that would have been used in the construction of, or a percentage of it, but this sort of thing has always been available in Dwarf Fortress. And early on is a way of propping up your industry. Honestly, with gnome invasions, goblin sieges, you'd often go out and get these weapons which weren't good for your dwarves, especially the armor, which might be too narrow, or in case of humans, too big, that sort of thing. You know, a human-sized sword not so useful to a dwarf. You could easily smelt that down and just use the metal then to make a regular-sized sword. Or rather, a dwarvish-sized sword, which was a small one. But here we are. We will be building this very soon. In fact, it's probably going to be one of the highest things on my priority list to do here. I know I said I was going to build a tinker, but this could solve our problems quite quickly. Before that, though, we need a new spot. So let's quickly mark that out. Here is the area down here. We could cut it up to around there and just cut that in there, and we'll pop some torches there as well. Okay, that is all we want from our miners at the moment. Now then, I think we will go ahead and continue what we were doing in the last episode, which was building the engineer's workshop, but that will come after having built the smelter. That is just truly a massively high priority for us. But not so high that I'm not going to replace these floors with dirt first. No. We may be, at the cusp of watching Spider Slaughter fall, but that's no reason to lose our heads. No. If we are going to die, we're going to die as gentlemen, living in a fort made of dirt, where all the precious stone is sent to be turned into statues. Right, they're going to get busy doing that. Now, I've been thinking about what to do here. There are a few ideas rolling around in my, unfortunately, rather dense skull. Ooh. Ha-ha! You fool, Mant. That's right. Blunt yourselves against Blow the Balding Spit. You stand no chance. Though perhaps you do. One thing quite a few people pointed out is that a goblin died. I had completely missed it. I will be honest. This goblin right here. Is he hidden behind there? Yes, he is. Wow. Iron plates, wool padding, cotton padding, iron hand axe, iron shield. Glorious. So these Mants, they're no... Ooh. They're no... oh my lord. They're not as much of a pushover as I was thinking they had been. Though Blow is certainly doing a good job. Check out his health. He's in good health. And quite high spirits as well. What we need is to get Blow over here, really. That would be the best thing to do. And hopefully keep plinking him while he's fighting other things. Come on, have you got no webs to... Ah, there you go. But Webster may not have had any weapons. Any arrows. Now, we'll let them go ahead and finish off that work. Have they finished up done yet? No, not yet. Chop, chop! Well, whilst we wait... actually, I need to go through here. We'll have a look at what's required. And get that made. We're going to need a mould, a hearth, and a bellows. So, to the carpenter for the bellows. So, 2 planks. Yeah, well, we've got pine planks, so make pine bellows for me. I would like a hearth and a mould, please. And once that's done, we'll be able to get things moving. Around the rest of the fort, things should be in relatively good shape. Oh, you're gonna just annoy me, aren't you? Oh, wait, what's happening up there? Are you alright? What are you doing? Oh, it's the merchant. Looking out at the array of Mant soldiers, or Mant workers probably, wondering how they're ever going to get back to their husband and children. Well, rest easy. We've got this under control. Well, Blow has got this under control, I think. Oh, he's still fighting. What's holding you up, Blow? Tell us. You wounded? No. You're doing still very well. I'm not going to bother looking at what you're doing because I know you're doing stupidly well at what you're doing. So there's really no reason for me to check. What are you guys wearing? You're wearing a copper helmet. Why? Should you not be wearing a skull? I do not understand. I'm fairly certain I told you to wear skulls. Are these helmets? Yeah, it's a skull helmet. That confuses me. Let me just check on my military a moment. Let's go down to skeletal militia. Oh. How did that happen? No. We want skull helmets, please. Thank you. That's better. I wonder how that happened. Some things have been going slightly awry lately with the updates and the changes that have come through, and I'm really gonna have to just turn that off. It's just annoying me. There. I really didn't want to have to do that, but I'm not gonna keep getting pulled back there every 3 seconds because 1 out of 48 different Mants has now been shown. The patch before this one did introduce some instability into it. As I mentioned, there were some problems with the Gnome AI. They would get stuck on doing things, carrying around certain objects. Nothing massive, really, but unfortunately, it kind of spiral into game-breaking sort of levels where your gnomes are refusing to do something that's absolutely of utmost importance because they're obsessed with carrying around a dresser. So, yeah, that has been fixed now, but still, I'm wondering why those guys were suddenly wanting to wear not wear the helmets that I told them to have. A little bit concerning. I shall have to keep an eye on them. Any torch will do. Just plant it there and there. And hopefully, by the time that that floor is placed, we'll be able to go ahead and place the smelter. Get to it. We must smelt down some of these things. And hopefully, that will result in some of our woes going away. Because our kingdom worth will suddenly plummet. Let's just have another quick check on the stocks. Like if we have a look at armor, metal armor, and melee weapons. Yeah, 38 hand axes, 12 warhammers, 24 brass plates. One of the really nice things about the smelter, though, is if you say you can like give it a repeat order, for example, to smelt up to all swords up to the quality of average. And as you might imagine, it wouldn't smelt your legendary swords. But when you do that, it will smelt the lowest quality first. So if you say, smelt everything up to average, it'll start with poor and work its way through all of the poor quality goods before moving on to the average ones, and so on and so forth. We've got quite a lot of smeltable items here. Oh, right, it's just saying what could be smelted. I see. Okay. Let's have a look. How many brass plates have we got? At most... No. At most average. Any brass plate? No. Smelt all of the copper brass plates. And use any of the coal. Yeah. Just go ahead and smelt... Oh, I could smelt all of the copper brass plates, honestly. Our entire military is now kitted in bronze brass plates. I don't think we're ever going to have a problem with that. I could probably do the same for... no, I can't. I can't risk doing that just yet. What about pauldrons? No. Greaves. It's probably going to be the same with all of those. We'll get rid of the brass plates then first. And then... warhammers. We just do not need this many warhammers. Oh, you don't... Oh, that's a shame. We can only tell it to repeat. Okay, well, don't do that then. Smelt anything that is... Oh, see, this is annoying. I would really like to be able to control it with a little bit more fine-tuning, but just get rid of the brass plates for now then. And that'll generate some more copper bars, but should help us with our kingdom worth. Right, I suppose we could go ahead and build the engineer's workshop. May as well. I wanted to get that done, so I think we've got a wrench now. Fairly certain we do. Well, we'll be able to see in a moment. If we go to workshops and mechanisms, let's check out the tinkerer's bench. We do not have a wrench, so we'll make one. We do not have a chair, but we do have a workshop. So we would like one wrench. And you can go ahead and make that out of copper. Yes, please. And a chair. Where is the chair? The chair is down here. So go ahead and craft that. You can make it out of anything. Now, one thing I've noticed is the mattress has just been pulled over here. I think we're making 2 mattresses currently. Let me just double check this. Yeah, we're making 1 wool mattress. Oh, only 1 wool mattress. That's fine then. That is perfectly fine. But we do not need this crate, because it looks like the mattress is stored outside of a crate. So that crate can be repurposed and sent elsewhere. The gnomes continuing on with their jobs, honestly. There's a sandwich there that hasn't... Oh, never mind. It's been eaten. But for a moment, there was a sandwich. And that was amazing. That is a sign of a healthy fort, my friends. A sandwich that has not yet been devoured. Now. Where are... No, there's a mant over there. There's loads of mants over here. Are those goblins still about? Or have they buggered off? I wouldn't be too surprised if they just left out of boredom. That would be kind of useful for us. But if we can drop our kingdom worth by smelting some of the stuff that really we wouldn't have had we been playing with this, with these game mechanics from the beginning, then I'm not going to consider that a bad thing. It is a little bit less awesome than I was hoping for, but at the same time, yeah, probably doesn't result in us losing the game. And I can only imagine that is what everyone else is rooting for. They should be. So if you're not, get with the program. Right, we're going to go ahead and build a plank wall out of birch. And I would like this wall here and here. Then I would like a stairs up made of planks. And it should be birch. And this should go there. And you'll see what I'm going to do in a moment. These ones, though, should be... Oh, well, I'll leave them there for now. We will have a floor made of planks out of apple wood. And that should go like so. And likewise, I would like the same over here. I would bring it down, yeah, about that far. And birch plank walls. There and there. And birch stairs. And you'll see what I've got in mind in just a moment. And this came to me while I was watching someone going through the very beginning of Skyrim again. For the like 8 millionth time that I've seen the very beginning of Skyrim. For those of you who haven't, it's a pretty good game. I'm not even going to begin to get into the whole is Skyrim better than the other test games because yeah, that's everywhere else on the internet already. But it is a fairly nice game in terms of its graphics, if nothing else. And at the beginning, whilst getting out of the contrived you have been locked up for some crime you may or may not have done thing that seems to be in most test games, you're just passing through the sort of stock room. And I noticed they had like stairs going up to an upper level. They had like crates of stuff full of and barrels of food and things like that, and then you could walk up some steps and then you had another landing with more crates and barrels of booze. So yeah, I was going to do that. And I thought, that actually looks rather cool. So we now need to deconstruct these two things, and then we can have stockpiles underneath for the various items, and then stockpiles on the top as well. This torch is going to move though. Oops, I didn't mean to click there. I would like this torch moved to the very edge. And the reason for that is I figure if I put the torches like this, they should illuminate each other's, the tile below each other. Though this one is probably still going to be slightly dark. I can only do so much. You cannot expect me to care that much about it. Give me a break. Now, I may... Oh, we need a door. Let me go build that. I would like a door. Are you building doors? No. Build me a door. Just one. Now, are you doing your job? Oh, is it a new job, perhaps? Let me check. Do we have... Nah. Oh, no. Smelter job. Okay. I imagine that comes under blacksmith, honestly. Check out melt it. Yeah, smelting. Okay. Well, Actually, I'll redesignate that just to be safe. Because sometimes when the game adds new stuff, it doesn't quite take. The gnomes don't quite realize that they have now got a new job. So, giving them a few seconds. And now let's go back through and give them smelting. Hopefully, they realize that they've got jobs to do. Aha! Tinker's bench. Finally. Oh. Now that is something I wasn't expecting, and that is a very pleasant surprise. It has remembered our progress. How fantastic. Well done, Robobob. Well done. Robobob, of course, is the developer of Gnomoria, and is entirely deserving of praise. Now, we need a workbench. It's been a while since we've had to make one of those. A chair and another wrench. But it'll be worth doing. So, make me another copper wrench, please. And there. Another chair. Scroll down. Actually, what's the workbench? Okay, that's fine. It's not too bad. It just requires planks, so nothing we have to worry about. Though, actually, thinking about that, let's make sure they're pine planks and not something really nice. And there we go. Another pine plank. Okay. Now, our distillery is full of stuff, apparently. Loads of wheat beer and wine. Though, having looked on the... a few people have given me tips that perhaps wheat beer is not a good thing to be making. Maybe I should just make wine instead. And I think they're probably right. So we're going to take away the wheat beer from there and there. That gives us an extra 30 to make. So we're just going to bump this up to 40. 40 of any wine. Whatever you want to make, just make it. And that should be fine. We're letting our food stocks and drink stocks go down a little bit. Trying to keep an eye on our kingdom worth. Oh, another problem that was fixed in the latest version is, in some instances, legendary items were not properly recalculating their worth. Now, that was a problem when... Ooh, it seems that they're not lit at all under there. I would have expected that to cast its light down, but that actually kind of adds to the atmosphere, I think. So we're going to leave that there. But legendary items, when like a weapon killed enough things, it would become a legendary weapon. They were not recalculating their worth properly, and in some cases were actually causing Kingdom's worth to go negative. I'm not sure what that did to the game, whether the game immediately fell to its knees crying about some issues with dividing by 0 or something, or whether it just went on its merry way, but you never got any more nomads or invasions, which, although sounds kind of pleasant from my perspective right now, would probably be very boring in the long run. Gnomoria now, whenever the kingdom is reloaded, it recalculates the kingdom worth. That may go out of the game in the later version. That might just be put in right now as a kind of elegant way to fix the problem without people having to start again. But that should have resolved that issue if you were having that problem before. Now, this will be eggs. Nothing special about it, and it's going to be a fairly low priority. It'll be a 10. Well, no, actually, it'll be... We'll put it on 9. I don't particularly want it to take precedence over adding overflow stocks, like taking overflow logs down to the stockpiles and things like that, but at the same time, I don't want it to be lower than that either, so we'll just store the eggs. And we want some crates, obviously. There we go. And above that, we will have some yak milk barrels. Oh no, we want to designate the stockpile first. So we'll stick that there. Milk. And again, priority 9. Because we don't want these things competing against our higher priority stockpiles. But neither do we want them to be like the last but one thing to be handled, you know. They're a little bit more important than dirt, at least as important as making sure that there's spare logs down there should the carpenter or sawmill operator go on a mad plank making spree. It'll be under drink. So go ahead and store any milk there. With my blessing. And we'll build some barrels as well. We may not actually have enough barrels available, so let's go and free some of these up. No. Let's go back up here and we'll make 4 barrels available and 3 more crates available. As for you guys, stand down, I think. Yeah. None for you. And why have I got you doing just standing guard duty when you could have been practicing anyway? Oh my lord. Right. Now, you guys have not been reporting when you've been seeing crazy shit. And I've not been watching. So, I don't know what kind of craziness is going on out there, honestly. Let's have a look. Things have been born. Things have died. An iron hammer has become legendary. How frightening. Another one of the bugs that the latest version fixed is items were not dropped by fleeing goblins and things like that. He had introduced it so that goblins would run away rather than dying of thirst needlessly, but they were dropping all their gear before they were doing it, which didn't really fix the problem. But that has been addressed now. And I'm fairly certain that our legendary goblins have buggered off. We might be able to open the fort. Well, that is certainly a good thing. Now, they should go ahead and put some stuff up there, which is great. I'm thinking of setting up some temporary dirt. Yeah, I think we should. I'll just put up some temporary dirt walls, just so we can get the second tier of walls built. So, we'll put dirt up so that I can just dig back through it. Oh no, better wait there. Don't need them there. Pop some there. That should be quick, pretty quick for them to put up. And once they're done with that, actually wait for them to go through. Once it, there we go. Gotta wait for them to do the corners, otherwise you're gonna get stuck with them not able to reach what they're trying to build. There we go. And we'll stick down some floor. And our little area for our ranches is getting very close to being complete. Just bring it along that far. At least the storage area is. We're going to have one more layer of walls and then a new floor. So it'll actually have a floor. And then we'll have bedrooms and maybe a little dining area up there for them. It'll be lovely. That'll be one of the most envied positions in the fort, I'm sure. There we go. Right, let's get these walls a building. And it's going to continue being log walls. Just to keep the aesthetic going. So get those logs there. And these logs there. Now, on this side, that's one of the last things I do before I leave. I'm just going to set up another stockpile. This one's going to be a pretty big overflow for wool. We're just going to have that all the way down at 15. No, actually, we'll have it at 12, and we'll have 12 at the top as well. I want the wool to go into the actual fort, but should that not be possible, then go ahead and store it here. I'll do the same here. And this one will be 13. Doesn't really matter too much at this point what I set their priorities to, as long as they're just not competing. And I think wool will go into bags. I'm not sure on that actually. Well, it's a fiber, so it might do. So we'll build storage for bags. If anyone knows whether that's true or not, or I suppose if I notice that it's not getting stored, then I'll already know. But there we go. So in this episode, we have built and started smelting our stocks of weapons and armors that we don't want. I'm probably going to go through and actually designate certain things to be smelted. Like, oh. Wow. Wow. Well, we leave this on the note of seeing a couple of goblins dead. A couple of goblins fighting things. And the first two-headed ogre that we have seen in this Let's Play. And it's dead. Well done, two-headed ogre. What an anticlimactic situation that was. But it probably did fight quite a few Mants, I imagine. Goblin corpse there. What about you? Are you badly hurt? I hope you are. Yes, yes, you are quite badly hurt. That's fair enough. And we've got another iron goblin over here, but no more steel goblins, which is kind of awesome. So, I think we might be taking things in the right direction by smelting stuff down. But we're certainly not out of the woods yet, and we're probably going to continue for another episode or two, just kind of watching what's going on out there and not getting involved in it ourselves. But sooner or later, we're going to have to go out there, and we'll probably try to time it so that we leave after the Mants and the goblins have had a massive head-to-head. So we'll try and pick off the stragglers and then haul in all that beautiful iron loot and equip our officers properly. But that'll all be for the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's been a little bit more sedate than I would have imagined, given the situation. But yeah, things are going okay. We've now got our engineers workshop up, and I'm going to pretty much try to get at least a couple of traps going for the next one and fill this corridor behind these doors with traps. Probably also hook that up. I think it's about time to try and hook that up to the windmill and a lever. Yeah, so mechanics in the next episode. I hope you will be able to join me, but until then, do take care.